Alright, so what we got here is a factory grill for a Honda. We're trying to turn it from an okie doke to a better looking, you know what I'm saying? So my idea is to fog light these two sides right here. And sand this down right here, which is the trim for this. It goes like that. And anybody can do this. Just using basic home tools, things like that. I've started sandage, as you can see. This is a little bit different than this up here. This has still got a little of that paint on it. I've been working on this, getting it all smoothed out. That way it sits and everything goes back together and it looks real nice. I've done this about 3 or 4 times. And I never have liked the way it's turned out. Plus, I thought I did it kind of sloppy, and I like things to look nice. So I think what I'll do is put 2 fog lights in right here. Put a 2-inch right here on the very inside, and then an inch out here, or whatever I can find. But I'm going to cut me a piece of metal and stick behind this, and then I'm going to cut and bore out a hole for the fog light right here. And then the outer one is going to be a turn signal. Or we could do a fog light. We could do 2 fog lights in it. I think I've never seen anybody else with it. And I like, different. I don't want to look the same as everybody else, Everybody's an individual. So we'll see what happens. Got some work to do on this. But right now, we are just taking a little bit of 120 sandpaper. What we got, just got this little piece right here. But it's better than nothing. Working on this trim piece. And what we're going to do is take it down 120 like this. Then we'll go to, I think I got a piece 400. 400. And you know the game. We go down to 6. Each grit, you go up, it gets smoother and smoother and smoother till you get the exact smoothness you want. But let's get started on this and see how far we get. Y'all don't really want to watch me saying this, do you? Good God. It'll take forever. It's round, it's awkward. You gotta hold it while you sand it. So, let's just keep working. How about I turn y'all off? That way I ain't holding up progress. And I'll bring you back when I got it all done. What do you think? Or I'll let some of you watch a minute, because it's going to take a while to do this whole thing. Kind of starting inside out, looks like, though, because it looked like I'd have already had my metal. I don't got no metal, so what I've got outside is I've got 2 old little metal sawhorses. I thought about cutting one of them up and keeping one, being I live in the flats. You really ain't got room to store stuff, and they want me to get rid of most of that because it's an eyesore, they say. Worse than an HOA is living on somebody else's property or at somebody else's mercy. But we're trying to make do with what we got. So, we'll keep sanding and working. I try not to bother people while I'm out here doing this too. When you live in a complex that's totally different than, say, you live on your own property with your own garage, your own stuff, You gotta be mindful and respectful of other people that live around you. You don't want to make nobody mad, which kind of sucks. You don't ever feel like you're truly able to do what you want to do. So, I get it in when I can. That's why the videos are a little sporadic. But I'm trying to do my best. That's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say about that. Oh, seeing strokes it. Alright, fellas. Yeah, I hate a corner, especially on sand, and it tends to take too long trying to get all this. You still gotta rough it, because if you don't rough it, it'll be the one part the paint don't stick and it'll bubble off, and then next thing you know, you gotta repaint it again. I'm just building this car to be a little different than most, that's all.
Stop.
Who? Getting in these thick corners can be tough, boys. Y'all, I don't know if y'all know, but doing these corners, you gotta kind of do it one swipe at a time. You can't get no good rhythm. That's for sure. I guess I better take that dang old angle on that. I know it's not fun sitting there watching a guy sand up a piece of trim, but I figured it's cold out there today. I'd try and get you something to look at. I'll be glad when I get done with this. I like designing stuff. I like to make my car look a little different. If you ain't checked out the other videos, that'd be a good time to go over there and look at them. You get an idea of what we're talking about here. I mean, I've never painted a car. I've never done no body work. I've never done nothing. This is the first car I've owned in a very long time. It's kind of like a first car, but it's really not my first one. I just got my license taken away in the state of Virginia for possession of marijuana when I was 27. And I didn't get them back until I was 30-some, because for a long time, I wasn't exactly living on the right side of things, I'll just say that. Now I've turned over a new leaf. I've got more problems now than I did when I was ripping and running, but ain't that the way it goes? I'm trying to be responsible and deal with things as they come. If you've seen one Honda, you've seen them all, right? I mean, they all look pretty much the same. To me, at least, they do. Yeah, found all my rough spots. Still a little rough on that corner. This is going to take an extremely long time. You do not want to watch this. Okay, so now we've run through it with the 120. Now we're on the 400, and then it's looking alright. But we still got a long way to go. Just, sand evenly the best you can. If you run your hand along it and you can feel a bump or a nodule or an edge or anything, indentation, anything, it'll show up in your paint if you paint it. So the best thing to do is just to get it over with and sand it down best you can. I'm not the expert. There's lots of people out there like Bad Chad, and there's quite a few out there that are really good at this stuff. I'm just a novice. I'm just doing a small car of my own. I figured what to do with my time, and I just wanted to share my experience, mine, not his, hers, mine, with you. So that's what we're doing. We're doing a from my point of view kind of thing. Yes, we are the backseat beaters, but I didn't call it the immaculate for a reason. We're on the budget always, and we're just trying to make it work. Make things look good on a budget. How about that? A very small budget at that. And sometimes I wonder where the budget's going to come from. But like I said, this is the 400, and we're just trying to learn as we go. No, I'm not trying to take all the paint off, but I want it pretty smooth. I'll say that. I want it smooth. These centerpieces are easy. It's when you get into edges like this, where it turns and it gets tight. That's where you're going to spend more time than any. You want to support this because this is just probably some kind of molded up plastic for a car, and that stuff busts real easy. You want to support it, but still try and get your sandpaper in there with all its might. Make it smooth. That's what the idea here is. Make it smooth, which we are trying to do. This is about the best way to do these corners. Just put a finger in there and push down just about as hard as you can. Not all the way, but try and get that smoothed out. I am not perfect. None of us are. But we are trying to make it look better. Remember the goal. Looks. Yes, looks do matter. A lot of people don't know that, but looks do matter. We live in a different world. A lot of people say looks don't matter. Yeah, they do. They do. They're lying to you. They do. You want to feel it all. Make sure you got it real nice and smooth. It almost looks patinaed. I like it. Look. but it ain't got no rust in it, so it ain't really patina, they say. Shout out to Puddin's Fab Shop. That guy's a riot. Here we go with another good one, he'd say. Yes, sir. And I'm just trying to get back by. Got tongue tied. Trying to get by best I can. But he started in the same place I did, and we're just going to see what happens. I don't expect much, but we'll just make a dialogue for ourselves otherwise. It's something I want to be able to remember working on this car. Seems a little rough right here. So I pulled out that 120 and I'm going to go back over it again. I like to have an old Ford truck painted up like that, boy. Or that old green, boy. Just can't beat it. Yep. Gotta burn through that. No sanding equipment, I got no fancy tools, just my hands and a piece of sandpaper is how I'm doing it. Fellers, bust out a little willpower right now, because that's what you're going to need to get through this. It is not fun to do, by no means, but we must remember, we're looking to make it look better. That's what we're working on right now. They don't have enough money in the world to make me look better, but we are going to make this car look a little better. If I had my way about it, I'd be working on stuff older than this with more curves, because they really made art pieces back in the day, if you ask me. Stuff that will hold to the test of time. As far as the sheer beauty, man, they made some beautiful ones. The Mercury, the Cadillacs with the fins. 60s, yeah, that's it right there. Super elaborate stuff happened then with the fins and the cars in general. And it goes all the way through it. I mean, every model, super elaborate, very artistic, if you ask me. I mean, they were out to make a statement during the 60s. And they did. I think it was the most beautiful car time. Rolling pieces of art. The designers that put their time in and, you know, sculpted these cars, I guess, out of clay, really were going for the best. Which, unfortunately, today, people don't want your best. They don't want truth, neither. But that's neither here nor there. We're not going there. Bust this off with a little sand job real quick. I'm trying to get this corner and it is fighting. I ain't found a good way to do it yet. Sometimes you gotta do it one stroke at a time till you get it. It's getting there. It's all up to you. That's what I like about it. It's something you did. When it comes to painting a car, you can say, I did that. And it's a very gratifying experience. Something about painting a car just appeals to me, I guess. I have learned a lot by watching YouTube and different people. And I just keep trying to learn something if I can. Some of it sticks, some of it don't. Some of it's trial and error. But that's why we're fallible. That's the way we learn. I'm not sure if people understand that. We learn through our mistakes. Some people are perfect, but not me. Just a regular old fella trying to do better in life each day. Coming from where I come from, there were many dark days like it. You wouldn't even want to get up out of the bed to face the things that you'd already done, to face the world in which you had created. But we'll say we're thankful those days are gone and we're off to family next. Now, this is 600. I'm going to go over it. We're almost there. We'll see what happens. Back with you here. And I'm going to give you a look at what I got going on here. I got it all sanded down. And I washed it. And I wanted to kind of mock it up to show you what it's kind of going to look like. Not exactly, because of course we still got to paint it, but 2 fog lights on this side and 2 fog lights on that side. I think it's going to look good, fellas. Guys, look at this patina. What would you think if we tried to do the whole car like this? I mean, check it out. I think that's killer. I think it looks almost like, well, kind of woodish, but not really, more of a metal. But I really like the way this red, blue, silver, and black look. It's almost like a wood grain. But look at that, it breaks off from blue to red. Now, I've done every bit of the work. I've still been sanding on this since I last talked to you. And I'm still working on it. But I think that would be a cool looking car if it was painted exactly like that. See that red and that blue, how it looks like a wood grain with this right here. That's pretty good. That red up here, this blue right here and here. I like how this opened up right through here. Y'all let me know what you think down there in the comments, but I've got a little idea along with these fog lights in this grill. Fellers! I think we got an idea of what we're gonna do.